Warren making his 10th start.
The last couple have been really good. Looks like he's here to stay.
Swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Warren. High drive, right field. See ya! Into the second deck for Rice. Long run for Peraza. And he makes the play and tumbles behind the tar. Did he hold on? Yes, he did. What a play by Peraza. Strike 3. A career-high 10 strikeouts for Warren.
And a great outing.
And he's going to get a nice hand from the stadium crowd. Swing and a miss with the fastball. Another scoreless outing for Devin Williams. Judge hits one to right field. See ya! He porches the Rangers. A great outing for Will Warren. And why not smile? Soak it in, my friend. The Yankees win the first game of this 3-game set.
That victory last night means the New York Yankees can make it 5 series wins in a row with another W tonight as they host the Texas Rangers for Game 2 of the 3-game series on a Wednesday night at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Yankees pregame on Prime alongside Dave Valley and Jack Curry. I'm Meredith Morakovitz, and we are getting you set for baseball in the Bronx. Last night, pitching once again shined with Will Warren setting the tone, striking out 10 in the process. And Dave, the Yankees have to be extremely encouraged not only by what they saw from Will Warren, but what they've been seeing by the rotation as a whole.
Well, I'll tell you what, Will Warren last night, what you saw was a young pitcher who's starting to believe in his stuff. He's starting to trust it. He's trusting his catcher. And what did we see him do? He attacked the strike zone. He worked ahead. And the result of that was a career-high 10 strikeouts. And over the last 3 outings, he's got 18 innings, given up only 3 runs, 26 strikeouts, and just 3 walks. And for him, Jack, that is the key. Throw strikes and attack the hitters.
What Will Warren did last night, Jacob deGrom has done a lot throughout his career. Every time he steps to the mound, there are great expectations. He has the stuff to be able to shut down an offense. You're going to see a lot of fastballs and a lot of sliders, but the Yankees could say they've had great expectations for their offense all season long, and it has produced. Lead the majors in home runs, second in the major leagues in runs per game. I look at tonight's game as the type of situation where the Yankees might not beat deGrom, but they might have to outlast him and beat the Rangers.
Well, Jack, let's head out to the stadium right now where Chris Sheeran is standing by with the clubhouse report. Chris, you just heard Jack talk a little bit about the challenge that could be Jacob deGrom when he is on. He is as tough as they come. So what are Yankees hitters saying about facing deGrom tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, he is doing extremely well coming back from his second Tommy John surgery. He's coming off his best start of the season, 8 shutout innings last Thursday against the Houston Astros. That was at home in Texas to improve to 4-1 on the season with a 2.29 ERA and 9 starts. So he's making his 10th start of the season here tonight in the Bronx. But Meredith and guys, he is 4-0 in his last 4 starts with a 1.13 ERA. And Kyle Higashioka was asked yesterday before the game, what's it like catching Jacob deGrom? And he said, it's kind of like a video game. I put my glove up, the ball hits it. No matter where my glove is, the ball hits it, and it's 100 miles an hour. And I asked Aaron Boone about Higgy's comments earlier.
Hopefully the fact that a lot of our guys play video games serves well. Look, he's throwing the ball. You know, it's vintage Jacob deGrom, right? So we know we got our hands full and work cut out for us. And he's on a good run right now where, you know, he's really pitching well. So it's elite stuff, commands it. You know, really just athletic and fluid on the mound. So we'll have our plan going in. We'll have our individual plans for guys going in and hopefully, you know, take advantage of the few windows you get with a guy like that.
Well, speaking of those windows that Aaron Boone just mentioned, it might be left-handed batters. The Yankees will throw 6 lefties at deGrom tonight. They're hitting .245 against deGrom as opposed to righties who are hitting .172. 14 extra base hits he's given up this season. 13 of them are by left-handed hitters. Paul Goldschmidt having said that is out of the lineup tonight. Aaron Judge will be doing the DHing, and Ben Rice will be playing first base. And speaking of lefties, it'll be Ryan Yarbrough on the mound for Aaron Boone and company tonight for the Yankees. He'll be making his third start and his 11th appearance. He's thrown 9 innings as a starter, given up 3 runs against the Rays and A's, and it's been his versatility, really, that Aaron Boone has been very, very happy with so far this season.
He's been awesome. He's been so important for us, whether it's picking us up on a day when, in the pen where he's been able to give us innings and bridge the gap, pitching in a little pocket in a game, or now, starting a couple games, just really valuable. He's just obviously such a different look than hitters are accustomed to seeing. And he's got that pitchability, moxie out on the mound. Got a lot of confidence that he can navigate his way and hopefully get us off to a good start tonight.
And Yarbrough will look to keep this train rolling right along. The starters over their last 13 games, 5-0 with a 2.47 ERA. Yankees are 9-4 in those 13 games. They're averaging just under 6 innings per start. Struck out 84 and walked 21, and the opposition is just above the Mendoza line. So Yarbrough will get the start, and he'll be backed up by a bullpen that has been lights out over their last 8 games. They're 6-2 with a 184. As we take a look at the bullpen budget, Luke Weaver has thrown just 4 pitches over the last 5-6 days. Devin Williams, Mark Leiter Jr., Ian Hamilton, they all threw yesterday, but they're available tonight. Fernando Cruz has 3 days off. Jonathan Loaisiga and also Tim Hill have had the past 2 days off as well. So they are in business with the bullpen tonight here at the stadium against the Rangers and Jacob deGrom. Now, Aaron Boone was asked to comment about the weather as well. I'm up here in the booth. That's usually not a good sign, as you well know, Meredith, but right before I came on, the tarp came off the field, and Aaron Boone said the report that he got was that they might have to play through some wet conditions tonight, but it's probably playable. And with tomorrow looking really nasty and the Rangers only coming in 1 time this season, they'll probably do whatever they need to do to get tonight's game in.
Chris, really delivering great news all the way around. I saw you in the booth. I automatically got concerned, but as we see, no tarp on the field. So let's go. Let's see some baseball tonight. When that does happen, it's going to be Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill with the call of the game. You will be there reporting. We look forward to it. Thanks as always, Chris.
You got it, Meredith.
We're going to take our first step aside here as the Yankees now 9 games above 500. Ben Rice, he's been a big part of it, blasting another home run. Cody Bellinger, he has a 14-game hit streak. We'll talk about those 2 guys and the Yankees offense as well as the bullpen when we return on the Yankees pregame on Prime. Here's a quick look at the Yankees lineup tonight. Cody Bellinger bats cleanup. He's hitting nearly .370 with 4 homers and an OPS over 1,000 across his career best 14-game hitting streak, which he will try to continue tonight. Paul Goldschmidt, as Chris mentioned, has the day off, so Ben Rice will be in there at first base, and Aaron Judge will serve as the DH. Jack, speaking of Ben Rice, the Yankees truly could not ask for much more from him offensively to start the season. Last night blasted his 10th home run of the year. 21 of his 37 hits have gone for extra bases so far. What are you seeing from him in the batter's box?
I'm seeing a hitter who came back this season after working in the offseason. He came back bigger, stronger, and more confident. And every aspect of baseball, Meredith, is about your confidence. And I think once Rice had a strong spring, and was hitting the baseball harder than anyone had seen him hit it in his career. He carried that into the season, and who would have thought that he'd be top 10 in the American League in home runs, extra base hits, and OPS. So, Dave, a lot of potent bats in that lineup that Aaron Boone can turn to.
And Cody Bellinger is one, right? He had a great spring training. The Yankees are thinking, man, what a great pickup for us. But the first 21 games, he kind of looked a little bit out of sync, right? He was lunging. He wasn't having that balance. And Meredith, you mentioned that yesterday when you talked to him. He said, I feel more balanced at the plate. So when you're more balanced, you slow everything down. I see the ball better. When I see the ball better, I can really focus on hitting pitches that are in the strike zone, which means I'm going to have much more opportunity to be successful. And what we have seen right now, 14-game hitting streak, he's hitting nearly 370. But his OPS in the first 21 games, he's doubled it in his last 22 games. This is something that this ball club has really expounded on because you've got 8 guys who have RBIs over 20. So it's not just Aaron Judge, it's not just Paul Goldschmidt, but they're getting contributions from throughout the lineup.
And I think that just fuels the offense as a whole when guys are contributing and are involved 1 through 9. Let's now turn our attention to the pitching. It's going to be Ryan Yarbrough making a start tonight. Aaron Boone has talked about how much he loves his versatility, Jack. You look at him bouncing between the bullpen and the starting rotation. He has been an asset for this team so far.
This was a really savvy pickup by the Yankees because of what you just talked about. To have a pitcher who, when you run into an issue, can suddenly become a starter for you and give you some length, give you 4 or 5 innings, throw 65, 70 pitches. There's a ton of value in that. And Boone described him today as a kitchen sink pitcher. And that's a compliment for Yarbrough because he throws so many different types of pitches. It's difficult for a hitter to center in on what he's trying to do. And Dave, I also think he does a good job of hiding the baseball.
He really does. And, you know, it's interesting in the age where all we want is velocity. Yeah. We want 3 digits. Here you got Yarbrough, who throws the slowest fastball, second slowest fastball in all of baseball, right? And what does that lead to? It's first in exit velocity, the slowest, first in barrel percentage, the best, and the slowest in hard hit rate. So, yes, you can win. You can get outs in the big leagues, even though you don't throw 100 miles an hour, and he is living proof that it works. And the fact that he has such a different look from everybody else is another asset for him.
And Yankee starters have allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in their last 6 games, pitching to a 1.96 ERA. They will try to keep it up tonight. But, guys, time to give that Yankees bullpen a little bit of love because they have been very good as of late. Take a look at last night. Mark Leiter Jr. comes on in a tough spot, 6th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. And he gets Peterson on the splitter right there. He would go on to score an inning and a 3rd scoreless. Let's not forget about Devin Williams. He looks a lot more like the pitcher the Yankees thought they were getting from the Brewers. He gets a strikeout there. He would have 2 on the evening. Yet another scoreless performance for Devin Williams. Now, you look back to last night, Dave. Both of those strikeouts on his fastball, but his airbender looks a lot better and something that maybe brings back some memories for you.
When I saw last night, it was a super slow-mo. I hope we're going to be able to take a look at that. But you saw the way that ball was rotating coming out of his hand. It just is fluttering in there, and it starts to drive and dip down and in to the right-handed hitters. It kind of reminded me of Fernando Valenzuela's screwball. It felt like nobody had ever seen it before, right? And we're going, what is that pitch? Because guys don't have any chance with it. But the fact that he's throwing that for strikes, all of a sudden he comes back with a 93, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and it looks like it's 110.
David Cohn, our pitching guru, who won more than 200 games in the major leagues when you count the postseason, he has called that pitch a screwball. I want to just give Leiter Jr. a little bit of love for that splitter. When I was out at the stadium with Meredith yesterday, I had a chance to talk to Leiter Jr. about his splitter. I wanted to know the origin of the pitch. I found this very interesting. Started throwing it as a college sophomore because he was having a game where he didn't feel as if he was getting enough swing and miss. He said to the catcher, we're throwing a splitter. And suddenly he started throwing it, struck out 13 batters in that game for NJIT. He continued to throw the splitter ever since. Learned the grip, Dave, from his dad, Mark Sr.
It's all about making adjustments throughout the season, right? He was kind of at that last ditch. I'm desperate. Let me try something different, and it ended up working.
Certainly has worked for him and for the Yankees lately. Let's see who Yankees pitchers will be facing today. Here's a look at the Rangers lineup. Josh Young bats 3rd. He has 5 home runs over his last 13 13 games. Catcher Jonah Heim homered yesterday's game. He's back behind the plate tonight, and he's batting 8th. It's Kyle Higashioka back in the lineup. Longtime Yankee batting .235 with 1 homer through his first 20 games in a Rangers uniform. Nice little video tribute that the Yankees gave to Kyle Higashioka yesterday, who will DH. For the first time since 2023, the Yankees will face off against that guy right there, Jacob deGrom. We will talk about the challenge that Yankees hitters will face when it comes to deGrom when the pregame on Prime rolls on next. Jacob deGrom has hit many highs in his career, back-to-back Cy Young Awards in 18 and 19. Plus, he earned Rookie of the Year honors in 2014 and 4 All-Star selections. But there is another side to this story. Injuries limited him to 15 or fewer starts from 2021 to 2024 and just 18 starts total the last 3 seasons. However, this year, he's been very good. He has been healthy. And Dave, last time out, he was dominant. 8 scoreless innings out of Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, he looked like the Jacob deGrom of old, right? A guy that has pinpoint control, is throwing the fastball in the upper 90s and hitting his spots with the secondary pitches. When he is on, he is just absolutely one of the top pitchers in the game of baseball. He's proven that over the years. The biggest surprise for me, though, Jack, is the fact that he's coming off his second Tommy John. You just never know, like, what you're going to be when you come back, right? I don't think anybody was expecting him to be this good, but over his last 4 starts, his ERA is 1.13. He threw 96 pitches in that last start, so it's not like they're kind of treating him with kid gloves here. They're kind of letting him go.
He is ready to go. The velocity is down a little bit, down a couple of miles to 97, but he threw 97 when he won a couple of Cy Young Awards. So, Meredith, let it rip if you're Jacob deGrom. Figure out a way to stay healthy.
Well, that's just it. If he can stay healthy, how much longer can he pitch in this league? And when you look at his numbers when he was on the mound, we talked about it. He is as good as they come. But you wonder, Jack, is his name in Hall of Fame consideration, or did he just not pitch enough to get there?
It's definitely in the Hall of Fame discussion for this reason. 2014 to 2020, he pitches to a 2.61 ERA. He's 70 and 51. You would think that the record would have been better with an ERA of that. I also want to throw this out there. In non-decision games, he's got an ERA of under 2.5. But as we just showed earlier, he also only has 88 wins. And I know there are some new school baseball thought where the wins don't matter. They're going to matter to some Hall of Fame voters. I'm one of those, and for me, it's going to be a fascinating study, Dave, because deGrom is incomplete right now. I need to see more to be able to check that box near his name.
Yeah, when you told me he only had 88 wins, I was like, oof, I don't know. That's a tough hump to get over.
It's a low number.
Yes.
Sandy Koufax, who had that period of dominance, had 165 wins. Johan Santana, who is a very close comp to what deGrom has become, had as about double the wins of what he has now. So, Meredith, I think it's an incomplete total. He needs to do more. I reached out to 5 Hall of Fame voters. 1 said yes, 1 said no. 3 said undecided.
Jack, I would love to continue this conversation, but we've got to take our final break right here on the Prime pregame. We will have some final thoughts when we get back next. Sadly, we are all out of time here on the pregame on Prime, but don't worry, we will have baseball next. First pitch between the Yankees and the Rangers. Game 2 of that 3-game series coming your way after the break. It'll be Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill with the call of the game with Chris Sheeran reporting. Don't forget, you can catch us on Yes after the game, breaking it all down. For now, we're going to take a step aside. Baseball next on Prime.
Well, tonight we have a very special matchup for you on Prime. A 2-time Cy Young winner versus a 2-time MVP. Jacob deGrom has been electric for the Rangers this season. Not only is he healthy, but he has been overpowering, seemingly turning back the clock and returning to his dominant form. And then, well, there's Aaron Judge, doing Aaron Judge things. doing captain things, doing things that very few people have ever done. He is truly a legend in his prime.
Aaron Judge is just the best player that has stepped onto this field in a long time.
It's power versus power.
What a day.
Game 2 of the Rangers and Yankees coming up next on Prime. It's overcast, it's chilly, it's drizzling, but there's going to be baseball here at the stadium, and it is time for baseball as Prime presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers in the middle game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won the first game of this set by a score of 5-2. They got some insurance runs late off the bat of Aaron Judge. Another multi-hit game for Judge, and what he's doing, putting up numbers that really are all-time sort of numbers.
What's a pregame without talking about Aaron Judge? I mean, if his presence everywhere, from the fans to the announcers to his teammates, everything, hitting over 400, running the bases, stealing a base if you need it, and then always he's got that bat to go deep. He threw one out last night, just his 16th of the year. Aaron Judge is everything that this organization ever dreamt about having.
All right, guys, with a 400 or more batting average, 16 more home runs through 47 team games. His teammate Cody Bellinger did it with the Dodgers in 19. Then you have to go way back. Chuck Klein in 30, Jimmy Fox in 32, Mickey Mantle in 56, the year that he won the Triple Crown. All right, so the middle game, this is the pitching matchup for this one. For the Yankees, it's going to be Ryan Yarbrough. And for the Texas Rangers, it's going to be Jacob deGrom. You see deGrom's numbers. And deGrom, when he's healthy, is one of the best pitchers ever. And right now, he's healthy.
Yeah, ever's a long time, Michael, but, you're not exaggerating. Jacob deGrom, when he was with the Mets, back-to-back Cy Young winner, I mean, he throws 97, 98, a great slider. He is one of the generation's better pitchers. And right now, in his last 4 games, he's shown he's a healthy deGrom.
4-0 with a 1.13 ERA, 27 strikeouts in 24 innings, just 4 walks, and opponents hit 198 against him. Now, for the Yankees, as we mentioned, it's going to be the veteran lefty, Ryan Yarbrough. He started really in middle relief, long relief, then got a spot start. Now he's in the rotation. Chris Sheeran has more with Aaron Boone next on Prime.
Chris Sheeran back to be here as we continue to get you ready for Game 2 of this 3-game set in the Bronx between the Yanks and the Texas Rangers here on Prime. Over the last 13 games, Yankees starters have been stellar. They are 9-4 with a 2.47 ERA, and looking to keep that train rolling tonight is lefty Ryan Yarbrough, who'll be making his 3rd start this season. Whether it's been out of the bullpen or making starts, his versatility has been phenomenal, and Aaron Boone told us about that earlier.
He's been so important for us, whether it's picking us up on a day when, in the pen where he's been able to give us innings and bridge the gap, pitching in a little pocket in a game, or now, starting a couple games, just really valuable.
Now let's throw things back up to the booth where Michael Kay and Paul O'Neill have the call of today's action.
Well, thank you, Chris. So Ryan Yarbrough makes his way from the bullpen into the dugout. And he really has firmly established himself with the injuries to be that 5th starter. Now, he has not started in a while because the Yankees had that off day and they wanted to roll out their 3 best for the series against the Mets. They certainly did that, taking 2 out of 3. Right now, the Yankees playing very good baseball as they keep taking series. They took a series against San Diego, against the A's, against the Mariners, against the Mets. And now, if they win either tonight or tomorrow, they'll take a series against the Rangers. All very good teams.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing good baseball. There's no doubt about it. Offense has been good. The pitching, the starting pitching, and the bullpen together have been excellent. They're just playing exciting baseball right now. And when you add that stuff together, you start piling up some wins, and that they're a high water mark right now, so you can't complain. coming to the game to watch the Yankees play now.
Well, Ryan Yarbrough will take the field, and the Yankees follow suit. And this is the Rangers starting lineup that Yarbrough is going to face. Sam Haggerty in center field, Wyatt Langford in left, Josh Young, the third baseman, will bat third. Cleaning up right fielder Adolis Garcia, Marcus Semien at second, Jonah Heim will catch. Bottom third of the order, first baseman Jake Berger, the former Yankee Kyle Higashioka. He'll be the DH tonight, and he'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, it is Josh Smith. And there's Ryan Yarbrough. He's pitched in 10 games. He's made 2 starts, 1-0 with a 3.70 ERA. You see the numbers, perhaps too many walks with 10. Now we'll take a look at the scouting report on the Yankee lefty.
Well, Michael, you kind of pointed on an extended rest because of the off days and then the Mets series. He hasn't pitched in 9 days, but we'll see how that works out. Soft in, soft out. Does not throw hard at all. Fastball in the mid-80s, but soft contact. Best in the American League. Only 83.3 miles an hour off the bat off of him, and hoping for 5. Last couple starts, obviously not blown up to be a starter. Took him a little bit, but his last outing in Sacramento, 5 innings, 2 runs and a win.
All right, let's take a look at the Yankee defense. You've got Dominguez in left, Trent Grisham in center, Cody Bellinger over in right. Now in the infield is Bibas, Volpe, LeMahieu, and Rice. That's third to first. Austin Wells behind the plate. Aaron Judge is the DH tonight. And Ryan Yarbrough, who we have detailed, is on the mound to start the second game of this 3-game set. Rangers are 25-24, and the Yankees are 28-19. That's a high watermark for them. 9 games over 500 in the early going. Well, the Yankees won last night, and they'll try to make it a couple in a row against the Rangers. Haggerty's ready. Yarbrough's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a strike. We're underway. The crew chief, Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire. Lance Barrett at first, Brock Ballou at second, and Carlos Torres is over at third. One and one. Yesterday, the Rangers scored just 2 runs, the 22nd time that Texas has scored 2 or fewer runs this year. The offense has really struggled all season. That one's popped up. Who's going to get it? Here comes Rice. And he slides to make the play. 1 down. All right, Paul, time to work. It's time for the keys to the game. What do you have?
Well, good times. I mean, it's a good time to face the Texas Rangers. Their offense really struggling. 26 in all of baseball at scoring runs. Yankee Utes. Yeah, Michael, I said Utes. The young guys are really coming through. Rice, Dominguez, Warren, Volpe, everybody's chipping in a marquee matchup. You got DeGrom with Aaron Judge walking into the box here soon. That's a fun matchup to watch tonight.
There's Wyatt Langford. And a breaking ball dropped in there for a strike. 69 miles an hour. You know, Rangers didn't score until the 9th inning last night. Shut down on another beautiful outing by Will Warren. Warren, his last 3 games, pitching to a 1.50 ERA. He had career-high 10 strikeouts last night. But as we mentioned, those 2 runs in the 9th inning, that's all they had. 22nd time, 2 runs or fewer. And the only team with more games of that ilk, the Rockies, who really hit the skids. 24 such games, 2 runs or fewer.
You think they're out of it at this point, Michael?
I think they might be.
Yeah. Starting to feel like there's a little panic there.
They've already fired the manager.
Yeah, well.
Who they loved. Been there a long time, Bud Black. 3-1 on Langford. There's a strike. Well, let's see what the home plate umpire is all about. He is hitter friendly. He's in his 27th big league season. He's the crew chief. He calls fewer high strikes and fewer inside strikes. Chop towards second. LeMahieu. 2 down. brings up Josh Young. One of the hotter hitters for the Rangers, 16 for 47 his last 13 games, a .340 average. 5 homers and 10 ribbies over that stretch.
And usually when a team goes through, the complete team goes through struggles, you need 1 or 2 guys that everybody can look at and you know, just get a different feeling. Young is one of those guys right now. Langford and Young both still swinging the bat okay.
And a strike, 0-1. Good changeup, moving down and away, and the count 0-2 on Young. Swing and a miss, another change, and a strong first inning for Ryan Yarbrough as the Rangers go down in order and the Yankees are coming about. There he is, Jacob deGrom. Too many seasons missed because you love to watch him pitch. He is that good. A couple of Tommy John surgeries, some shoulder problems, but he's back. And he's sporting a 4-1 record. Let's take a look at the Yankees lineup that he's going to face. Trent Grisham in center, Ben Rice at first, Aaron Judge will DH. Cleaning up, red-hot right fielder Cody Bellinger, Jason Dominguez in left, Anthony Volpe plays shortstop and bats 6th. Batting 7th and catching, Austin Wells. DJ LeMahieu at second base will bat 8th, and batting 9th and playing third base, it's Yorby Vivas. Told you Ryan Yarbrough on the mound for the Yanks. So deGrom, this is his 10th start, 4-1, 2.29 ERA. And let's take a look at the pitcher scouting report on the veteran right-hander.
Well, you said it, Michael. Finally healthy. So far, so good after a lot of injuries, including those 2 Tommy Johns that you mentioned. And only 97? Yeah, only 97. There were days where he threw 99 to 100, but still can run it up there. Still amazing pitcher and truly elite. When you look at what he's done, a couple Cy Youngs and a career ERA of 2.51. Not a lot of people can say that.
Coming off a great game Thursday against the Astros, he outdueled Hunter Brown, won the game 1-0 with 8 shutout innings. The only run came on Jake Berger's home run in the 6th inning. And the Rangers manager, Bruce Bochy, said, "I enjoy watching him. I'm a fan, too." You know, the Rangers knew about his injury history, and they still signed him to a 5-year, $185 million deal. This is the 3rd season of that deal. One and 2 on Trent Grisham. A couple of hits last night for Grisham. Rangers defense, Langford, Haggerty, and Garcia. That's left to right. Infield is Young, Smith, Simeon, and Berger, 3rd to 1st. Higashioka, the DH, Jonah Heim behind the plate. Swing and a miss at the change. 91-mile-an-hour changeup. 1 out.
Well, you'll see his spots, and everything's low. He loves down and in to lefties and then to mix that changeup in. But you're going to watch a lot of sliders and a lot of fastballs, particularly to right-handers on the outside part of the plate.
Ben Rice hitting 259 overall. He hits lefties well against right-handers, a 278 hitter with a 946 OPS, and he has 16 extra base hits against righty pitching. Well, last night, well, it was against a lefty.
Yeah, a little hanging breaking ball ended up hanging in the 2nd deck. Got the Yankees on the board.
Ground ball, backhanded by Berger, and he flips to deGrom. Out number 2. Here's Aaron Judge. You know, they always say for a pitcher, the most important pitch is strike one. Because you really make a hitter more defensive at 0-1 than 1-0. And I got to tell you, Paul, looking it up, for some reason, Aaron Judge is the anomaly. When he's up in the count 1-0, he hits 362. When he's down in the count 0-1, he hits 361. No impact.
Yeah, I mean, as he sees pitches, I think he's become such a smart hitter at knowing what, location, what to look for, what not to swing at. And another thing, as you become, accustomed to hitting behind in the count, you don't panic like you did when you were young.
One and two, now 2-1. Well, the forecast for today was it was supposed to rain a lot. It has not rained that much, and right now it's not raining at all.
There's that slider, and that stays up a little bit, but still, location-wise, right on the outside corner.
So 2-2 on Judge. DeGrom, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Judge, a 2-time MVP. And the count is full. Bellinger on deck. And Judge works a walk against DeGrom.
And we talked about him wanting to throw the ball low and away. This one just off the plate. The walk for Aaron Judge.
So here's Bellinger, a career-long 14-game hitting streak. He's hitting 368 during the streak. And a strike.
You know, a lot of the lineups, Michael, are intended to make pitchers kind of change and go both sides of the plate. And you're going to notice DeGrom still stays down and into lefties a lot and down and away to righties a lot. He just likes that lane. I see that ball was supposed to be away, but he's so accustomed to throwing the ball down on that inside part of the plate. That's his strength.
He works from the extreme first base side of the rubber. One and two.
Second good changeup. He's thrown to a lefty.
Hit sharply, it's a base hit. A 15-game hitting streak for Bellinger. Judge stops at second. Yankees first and second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
You know, sometimes when you're facing the elite pitchers, you don't think about overswinging. You watch this ball right there, and just a short little swing, put it in play, and he found a hole. Good piece of hitting by Bellinger.
Judge at second, Bellinger's at first, Dominguez at the plate. One and 0. Dominguez hitting .286 over his last 10 games, .409 on base percentage during that time. Runners lead. DeGrom in early trouble. 3-0. DeGrom's 36 years old. He'll be 37 on June 19th. 12th big league season. Turned him loose on 3-0 and he fouled it away.
Had a good swing. That was really the first ball elevated by DeGrom up in the zone to a lefty.
Won the Rookie of the Year in 2014. Paul told you about the back-to-back Cy Youngs. Career ERA of 2.51. Second in the major leagues since 1920.
Short little slider. We've seen a lot in the slow motion on the rotation. That's kind of the old school slider where there's just a dot on it. Very hard to pick up as a hitter.
Swing and a miss. There's that slider. And that'll do it as he pitches into and out of trouble. No runs a hit. 2 men left on base. We'll go to the second. It's 0-0 on Prime. Well, suit up the season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Yankees gear. We go to the second. Garcia leads off. I never do this, Paul, but you've got juice here. Yeah. I think you got to make a phone call and get some sweatshirts up here because it is freezing.
You're a little chilly.
I think I see Frank Gifford out on the field.
Yeah. It's been one of those April and Mays for us, Michael.
Wow. We put away the heater. We had to unearth it. We have hand warmers today.
I'm busted in the closet trying to find the heater. Audrey, where's the heater?
And then you left your sweater in the car. Not good.
Things happen like that sometimes. But you know what? My mind can only go a couple things. There's our parking for you. They probably did a quick turnaround in the gift shop. Took all the way the T-shirts, the tank top. And
you're right.
Filled it up with jackets.
Woo! 2-2. Now the reason that games have to be played in this cold weather and inclement weather with the balanced schedule, the Texas Rangers come in once. There's really no real easy lane to make up games, and you know, you worry about tomorrow as Garcia goes down looking, and tomorrow has a really bad forecast as well, but they're going to try to get it in. You just have to.
Well, I know one thing is you look at this good changeup, side spin going down and away. Garcia takes it, but yeah, it was supposed to pour down rain. It really didn't. Now tomorrow, I think it's supposed to get windy and cold too, so dress appropriately, Michael.
All right. Here's Marcus Semien. Speaking of cold, he's been cold. Last 13 games, 6 for 45, 133. You know, talking to a couple of Ranger people, Paul, they just don't understand it. They don't understand the offense being this stagnant.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand a veteran player getting off to a bad start, but you know, you get to the middle of May, that's more than just the start. I mean, it's been going on since day one. And we went over his stats last night. I mean, he's hit 41 home runs for the Blue Jays and, you know, had signed a huge deal. He's done great things since Texas. You do see kind of a downtrend, but still not all the way down to 175.
1-2 on Semien. And that one's tipped into the glove of Wells. 3 strikeouts in a row for Yarbrough.
That's a good sign. I mean, Warren got off to a great start last night. Yarbrough today, I mean, with the changeup and then the fastball up in the strike zone past Semien. Little of that sidearm, kind of an awkward way to pick up the ball.
Here's Jonah Heim. 0-1.
You see that cutter, and we talked about not overpowering. I mean, that's 84, and you know his fastball 86, 87. So he's not going to overpower you, but you know he's got movement. He's got a very good changeup. He's not afraid to throw strikes.
Last night you asked me, Michael, about what's below hitting speed. Maybe Yarbrough's just a tick below hitting speed.
Maybe, yeah. That one is looped into right field. It's going to dunk in front of Bellinger for base hit. Broken bat single for Heim.
You see Heim just holding those hands. Those are what you do not want to do on a cold night. Those fingers will be ringing all the way to the 5th inning. I mean, off the end of the bat on a cold night is miserable stuff. Well, it would have been worse if it would have been caught, but this is a changeup, and just watch right off the end of the bat. It doesn't take long for that vibration to get down into your fingers as you're running down the first base. Still holding them over there. Ouch. You know, you coast in for a single, and then you realize that your hands are just buzzing.
Trying to get feeling back. Berger takes outside. You know, it's funny you mention, you know, the old line, the Yogi Berra line. It's getting late early. You know, the Rangers company line is, well, you know, these guys will turn it around. Well, you know, you're 40 some odd games in. You're 25% of the season over.
Right, and if you do look at the standings, I mean, they're right in the thick of things out there. So it's not like they've dug a huge hole in the division. Bruce Bochy's been through a lot in his 26, 28 years as being a manager. So, you know, he's seen it all. But, you know, sometimes even that you kind of scratch your head because they're veteran players. They're not a lot of young guys that, you know, really don't have a baseball card to look at the back of. I mentioned Bruce Bochy, 28 years as a manager, huh?
Snap throw to first. Diving back is Heim. There's Bruce Bochy. 3 world championships with the Giants, then sat out a couple of seasons, came back, and managed the Rangers to a championship. So he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. He just passed Sparky Anderson. You see the 2196 at the bottom. He just passed Sparky Anderson on the wins list.
They turned him loose on 3-0, and he fouled it back.
You think I'm kidding? Heim is still holding his hands on first base. I mean, it rings for innings and innings.
Ground ball, Volpe. And he'll get the force, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, only 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd. The WNBA is back. Don't miss Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever's season debut on Prime Video as they take on the Atlanta Dream tomorrow at 7:30 on Prime.
I remember the day that she came up to the booth. She was at the ballpark. And, you know, when she walked away, I thoroughly impressed. Just said everything right, acted right. And, boy, when you see the highlights, that's kind of a different game. Huh?
She can play. So DeGrom finishing his warm-ups. He's still looking in his hand. Did you see that?
Yes.
Wow. You lose feeling, or is this?
Oh, it just hurts. You lose feeling, and it, you know, initially it just rings and buzzes and hurts, and then all of a sudden you realize that I have no feeling at the end of my fingers here, and it does take a while.
Now, I don't know if he's trying to deke the Yankees, but if Volpe gets on, you got to steal. I mean, he catches 12% of base runners with a good hand, and now the trainer's going to come out and look at him.
You know, you look at the end of those the fingers; they're white, and you know what? So my fingers look like when I get out of the cold plunge. You just have no feeling in them.
And you can see that throw that he threw to second and went to center field.
We got some hand warmers up here. Maybe we could send some down.
I don't know if that would work on that.
How about a little hot water? Huh?
Wow. He couldn't take care of it because he was on base until the end of the inning. And he threw it away from DeGrom again.
Like I said, it even hurt worse if that ball would have been caught. But, you know, all joking aside, it's a real thing off the end of the bat.
He just can't throw the ball right now. They might have to take him out of the game.
Yeah, you wonder how much time you know, you're allowed. I don't know if is that in the rule book? How much time to get your hands warm?
Well, I mean, DeGrom is not loving this,
No.
and the backup catcher Higashioka is the DH. Now they do have a Tucker Barnhart, so they would probably go to Tucker, but that would leave them without a backup catcher. And it looks like Heim is leaving the game.
Wow.
Yeah, there's Barnhart. He's got the equipment on.
Michael, we see things here all the time that we've never seen before.
Amazing. And you called it right when he hit the ball.
Ball off the bat, you lose your fingers, and all joking aside, I mean, he cannot hold the ball right now. You lose feeling at the end of your hand.
And on top of that, he's one of their best hitters right now.
Yeah, he had a great night last night. And the funny thing is you know, he's going to get in there in about the third inning. It'll all go away, and then you're out of the game.
And it all was because of this on a cold night. Ball off the end of the bat, broken bat. He gets himself a single, but this is more than he bargained for.
Yeah, like, that's a painful single.
Well, now they're flying without a net, without, you know, backup catcher, because Barnhart's in there and Higashioka's the DH. Obviously, you know, God forbid something happens to Barnhart, then Higashioka does become the catcher, but then the pitcher has to hit.
Flying without a net, that's not a good thing. Huh?
No, it's not. Now, that's one pitcher that would not mind having to hit, because Jacob deGrom could hit, and he was one of the people that did not like the universal DH when it hit the National League. Well, if we hear anything about Heim, we'll certainly get it to you. See, it's starting to drizzle here at the stadium. Volpe hits one to center field. Haggerty can't make the play. Volpe rounding second. He's going to go to third. And the throw comes in. It's a inning-opening triple for Anthony Volpe.
Well, Haggerty made some really good plays in center field yesterday. And yeah, I don't know, this ball, it was affected by the wind or whatever, but he kind of got mixed up on his steps. And then as a center field, once you dive, there's nobody behind you. Ball hit pretty hard from Anthony Volpe. All he can do is hope. And then once that hits the ground, it's an easy triple with his speed.
So here's Austin Wells. Rangers play the infield back. They'll give up a run to get the out.
It looks like the ball kind of took off on him. And then again, you know, you're all fully out there trying to make the play, and there's no backup behind you in center field.
So 0-2 on Wells. This is how close. Just out of reach.
Right off the end of the glove.
Now they bring the infield in with 2 strikes. You know, you mentioned this yesterday. It's almost like Bochy has to manage differently because the team can't score. You can't just cavalierly give up a run. It's a big deal.
Yeah, with 2 strikes now, the pressure's on Austin Wells, and so he's brought the infield in.
Strike 3, and Wells knew it. 3rd strikeout for DeGrom.
DeGrom again trying to go away, and you see that he is so accustomed to bringing the ball in. It ends up on the inner half, but still at 98. Austin Wells have seen some sliders in that at bat. Makes it tough to pull the trigger and catch up to that. And they'll leave the infield in completely in this at bat for DJ LeMahieu.
So LeMahieu is pretty much settled in, playing second base pretty much every game. So the right-handed Volpe got the second extra base hit against DeGrom this year. There's grounded to Simeon. Coming home is Volpe. No throw. They'll make it to first. So an RBI ground out for LeMahieu. And the Yankees lead 1-0. It just got past DeGrom, and that got the Yankees a run.
Well, DJ LeMahieu put it in play, and you've got good speed. You see Anthony Volpe going on contact, even with the infield in, and that's why you do that. You kind of steal a run.
Here is Yorbi Bibas. (2-0) on Bibas. You know, in the Sunday night game against the Mets, Bibas had one of the great at-bats you'll ever see against Ryan Stanek. He went down 0-2, looked overmatched, and then had a 13-pitch at-bat that resulted in a ground ball to Alonso, who threw it away and allowed the Yankee run to score. Paul, it reminded me just a little bit, obviously with less on the line, of your bat against Benitez in the World Series, where you were just hoping to make contact. This kid just kept fouling pitches off.
Yeah, that last pitch is the pitch that I think is going to give him some problem. High, hard, with that little motion back. It's going to make it very hard to catch up to that ball, especially from Jacob DeGrom.
For Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Madison from Parrish, Florida, who loves collecting autographs every spring training in Tampa. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. Higashioka, who got a tribute video for the Yankees between innings last night. A nice hand from the crowd. He's leading off here in the third. Former 7th-round Yankee pick in 2008. Always had power, and he drives one to left field. And Dominguez will put it away. 7 seasons with the Yankees. Last year, a good year with the Padres, 17 home runs. And he signed a 2-year, $13.5 million deal with Texas. There's Josh Smith, the shortstop, 1 hit in his last 16 at-bats. And he swings out from under his helmet, 0-1.
Like I was just reading about DeGrom, who he made his first major league start against the Yankees.
Yeah, I remember that.
In Citi Field. And he got a hit his first at bat, which broke an 0 for 64, which was the worst of all time from the Mets pitchers.
Wow.
So he could hit.
No, he was a very good hitter. That should be a hit. And all Yarbrough could do is pick it up.
Well, you think, why is his hands not ringing? Because this ball was cued. It didn't catch the bat square at the end of the bat, and that's why it's just like a pull cue. You just spin it right off the end of the bat. You couldn't have placed it any better. Look at the spin on that baseball. A lot of times, I mean, even as a fielder wants to pick it up, there's so much spin on the ball, you can't pick it up.
Back to the top of the order, and Haggerty. 0-1.
So I'm going to try to jar your memory.
Okay.
So I talked about DeGrom. He was his first major league start. Who did he face that day, who also for the Yankees was his first major league start?
I remember because it's a very Tony name. Chase Whitley, I think?
Chase Whitley, you're amazing. You are amazing. The trivia, that is.
I remember after that game, the next day, I was talking with my buddy Don McGrucka, who's a big Met fan. And I said, Don, this guy's going to be really, really good. You could just see the way he was pitching.
Talking about DeGrom?
DeGrom, yeah. And it was one of the first times I turned out to be right. Chase Whitley. The 0-2 upstairs. Swing and a miss. Good change. Haggerty down on strikes.
Well, that's the equalizer right there. If you're not overpowering, you better have a good off-speed pitch, and he does. A great changeup. He gets that same side spin that most lefties do, which causes that ball to go down and away to right-handers for a swing and a miss.
Langford swings through a change. Two on Langford.
So you look at Yarbrough. Is he grandfathered into the game? Because, you know, if you go scout him in high school with the new analytics,
he's not getting drafted.
Yeah, this guy throws 85, 86. Decent changeup, lefty. Amazing, right?
Runner goes. The throw to second. Stolen base for Smith.
Wow, great jump there. Kind of a two outs. You'll take a chance and just go on first movement on the lefty, but a good throw by Wells up the line. Just a little bit late.
Time run now in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the third, Yankees lead 1-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup. 5 strikeouts in 3 innings for Yarbrough. Well, let's take a look at DeGrom's first start. We were just talking about it. The hair was longer, but the stuff was great.
Wow.
Even then, he knew how to pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, he had filthy stuff, but he knew how to pitch. Won 7 innings, 1 run. But the Yankees beat him 1-0 behind Wheatley, Betances, Warren, and Robertson. That's Adam Warren. No, not Will.
That's when DeGrom got used to losing 1-0 in Citi Field.
Top of the Yankee order, 1-1 count on Grisham.
Well, the changeup again has been really effective to the lefty hitters. He wears out that inside corner with the slider and the fastball, but then he gets that changeup to run away.
2-2. And the pitch.
See, there's some tough guys right there. No coats, short sleeves.
It's Fleetweed. Yeah. Swing and a miss. Dialed it up to 98. Grisham down on strikes for the second time. Fifth strikeout for DeGrom.
Right out of his hand. I mean, it's just perfect delivery, perfect just ride on the fastball, just by him. Saw a slider, saw a changeup, and then saw a fastball.
Ben Rice takes a strike, grounded out to first in the first. Judge is on deck. Swing and a miss. Good change. 2 away. That'll bring up Judge. First at bat. Here's how he attacked him on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, it's Aaron Judge, so you're going to have to figure it's going to be hard stuff. Yep, early. And then he started with the sliders. Aaron Judge able to stay away from that. But I do remember once he got to 3-2, yeah, he missed with a slider. Was not going to challenge him.
The 1-0. Fouled the fastball back.
Well, it was 98, but that's the best swing you've seen all night from the Yankee hitter. Aaron Judge right on that pitch.
One and two. Still 1-2.
Yeah, that's 99, and you know what he's done here is he's back-to-back fastballs, and in a hitter's mind you just keep, oh, he's going to go back to his slider. DeGrom good enough to just back that pitch up.
Yeah, you look up at the board and Judge is hitting 403, and we talk about how incredibly hard it is to hit 400, probably more so than since Ted Williams did it in 1941. Williams faced 74 pitches that entire year. Judge has already faced 114 pitchers. And when Williams hit 406 in 1941, there were only 111 pitchers in the American League.
Yeah, you can dial in when you're facing a guy for 3 or 4 times in a game, which Aaron Judge never has that luxury.
And the guys that he's facing are coming in from the bullpen throwing 98, 99 miles an hour.
Yeah, the bullpens back then weren't that tight. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's when they called it the underbelly.
they were the guys that were getting ready to hang it up or just needed a little work. Just if you got to the bullpen, you usually were going to win.
I mean, I remember, the great teams that you were on. You would do damage against a starter, work the count all the time. This was like 98, and he'd be out after 5 innings. All of a sudden, you'd get a bullpen guy come in, and that's when you would really just jump all over him.
Yeah, and then we had the bullpen to match their bullpen.
Yes.
And as soon as you got a lead late, then, you could rack up another win. And I truly believe that in Cincinnati, when I was there in 1990, that kind of changed baseball. We had what they called the Nasty Boys, Norm Charlton, Randy Myers, Rob Dibble. And I think from then on, bullpens were set up.
High fly ball. Just got under it. Wynn takes it, and Simeon makes the play. So the Yankees go down in order, a grin from DeGrom, and we go to the fourth. Now let's take a look at Judge and DeGrom at bat number 2.
That was a battle, too. And at the end of the battle, look at this. Aaron Judge looks in and says, yeah, I just missed you. And DeGrom said, yep, certainly did.
That was fun. Two great players going at each other.
That was a good battle. A lot of good pitches, a lot of good swings, foul balls. And Aaron Judge just missing one.
Here's Josh Young. A backdoor slow breaking ball, 69 miles an hour for a strike.
I'd say you go faster on the Deegan, but I was on the Deegan today, and you don't.
Not today. You could have walked here faster. That changeup's been such an effective pitch for him. 0-2.
Yeah, first pitch strikes. I mean, he's stayed ahead. He's thrown 10 out of 12 first pitch strikes, which really opens the door for that changeup off the plate, swing and a miss. Yarborough's been really good so far.
You know, we talked yesterday about how well Will Warren pitched. And it shows you the value of veteran pitchers. So, listen, it's terrible if you're a baseball fan, particularly a Yankee fan, that you're not seeing one of the best pitchers in baseball, Garrett Cole, pitching this year. But he is contributing to the Yankees every day. It's like Will Warren said that when he's not doing his rehab work, then obviously Garrett Cole's going to talk with him and go through scenarios, and this is what you should do here, and try to get ahead and put people away without getting the count to 3-2. And I just found that so fascinating that there's young pitchers on the Yankees that they can go to Garrett Cole University all year this year, and he can still help the team win.
Yeah, because he's relevant, because he's done it recently. It's not like you're talking to somebody that's done it 20 years ago. You're talking about somebody that's gone through it at a level that he has, where when he says something, you believe it. And where there's nothing better than having a mixture of veterans and young people on a team because of that. The young players have the energy. The older players know how to play the game. And when you mix it all up, then you become a better team.
And also you have a guy in Cole who's very willing to give the knowledge. Like to pay it forward. He really, even when he's an active pitcher, he's really going over everything, every pitch, every scenario, every breakdown. And, there it is. There's class in Garrett Cole University.
And that guy next to him, Max Fried, is kind of in that same boat where he just knows how to pitch. And then you see Clark Schmidt in the middle, who's really turned it around and still learning. So, it's got the full gamut there.
Two on Garcia. Garcia struck out looking in the second. So the count full. And the Yankee lefty deals. Strike 3. Garcia down looking. Strikeout number 6 for Yarbrough.
Well, you're seeing some some hitters on the Texas side, and believe me, everybody that's ever played the game has been there at a certain point that are just defeated. I mean, just taking pitches right there, kind of in between, it gets in your mind. You don't trust your mechanics, you don't trust anything, and it just makes hitting that much harder.
Simeon fouls it back. He struck out in the second. One and one. Yankees run comes on a triple past the diving Haggerty off the bat of Volpe. And then a ground ball with a drawn-in infield off the bat of DJ LeMay, who scored Volpe. It's 1-0. Top of the fourth, 2 outs. Two and one on Simeon. Simeon 6 for his last 46. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Lance Barrett.
He racked up the strikeouts last night, Michael. It was a year high for the Rangers. They had 14, and they're off to a good pace tonight, too.
Fly ball, Dominguez. And the Rangers go down in order 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees up 1-0. Back here at the stadium, enjoying a night on Prime. Yankees lead 1-0, bottom of the fourth inning. Cody Bellinger, who singled in the first inning, swings and misses at the first pitch from DeGrom. The single in the first inning extended Bellinger's career-long hitting streak to 15 straight. He's 22 for 58 during that streak, with 4 homers and 12 ribbies. High fly ball left field, Langford. One down. And here is Jason Dominguez. Struck out in the first inning. Worked the count to 3-0. Then got a green light, fouled it back, and then got 2 sliders. He swung over the top, and that left runners on first and second with 2 outs in the first against DeGrom. Sky to left field. Langford on the run toward the line, and he runs over. DeGrom has 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. That one is drilled to right center field. Giving chase is Haggerty. He is there, and in front of the track, he'll make the play for out number 2.
Yeah, that kind of has to do with the weather tonight, Michael. That ball looked like off the bat, looked like it was heading for the bullpen, and it just hung up and just kind of stopped. See where he hit it on the bat. Yeah, it looked like that ball had a chance. It just went absolutely nowhere.
Pumped up, and then he gives the ball to a little girl.
See, Michael, the world's still a good place, you know.
You got to look for it, though.
You got to go out to the bleachers.
Volpe grounds out to Simeon, and that'll do it as the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 5th inning. You can read by that smile. Now she's got a baseball to go along with it. Well, this This year marks Yogi Berra's 100th birthday, and the Yankees have a special giveaway to help commemorate it. On Friday, June 6th, first 18,000 guests will receive a special Yogi Berra U.S. Navy bobblehead that recognizes his military service, courtesy of State Farm. Tickets going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com. Tucker Barnhart, his first at bat after Jonah Heim had to lead the game. He hurt his hand, getting a base hit. So the Dominguez ball that, you thought had a chance to go out, Paul, 105 miles an hour off the bat, 29-degree launch angle, pretty much ideal contact. The Major League batting average with those numbers is .899, and it's a home run 86% of the time.
Yeah, off the bat, that was given. It was a home run, but cold weather, wind really affects the baseball.
There's a strike to Barnhart. Old, his 12th big league season. Won 2 Gold Gloves with the Reds, Paul, in 2017 and 2020. He came up as a switch hitter, started batting exclusively left-handed in 2020, went back to switch hitting in 2022, but scrapped it again, and now he's lefty only. Did you ever try switch hitting?
I could not do anything left or right-handed. It's just, I was always jealous that some of my brothers could, and then obviously coming into the major leagues, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, I couldn't imagine being able to do that. How much fun it'd be.
Do you also golf lefty?
Yeah. Yep.
7 strikeout for Yarbrough.
You can't say enough the way he's throwing the ball. Obviously, he has control of all of his pitches and that sidearm delivery. That's why you don't see a lot of lefties in the lineup. Jonah Heim obviously went down after hitting that ball off the end of the bat. Lost feelings in his finger.
-3-0.
What's your hand warmer doing, Michael? I think mine's run out of gas.
Yeah, mine's run out of juice. Yeah. There's a strike to Berger, 3-1. Wind's whipping up now, going in toward home plate. There's a strike, 3-2. And the lefty deals. Do you think you'd have some trouble with a guy like Yarbrough because he's slinging it from the left side?
Yeah, it's not a fun at bat for a lefty. It takes a while, and you used to face lefties like this out of the bullpen where you would only see him one time, and it was that was kind of the way the bullpens were set up for specialty lefties. It's just a very strange place to pick up the ball.
Deep to left field, Dominguez back, tie game. A long home run for Berger, his 5th of the year.
Well, since Berger's been brought back, we talked about he was sent down to the minor leagues earlier in the year. He's been much better. The Marlins got him for power a few years ago to help them get to the playoffs. But one thing he can always do is drive the ball when he gets a good pitch to hit.
Want to know to Higashioka.
Just kind of a cutter right there, and it just kind of didn't quite continue in. And he pulled his hands in, put the barrel on it. The wind didn't affect them.
Nope. You know, home runs are the only thing that the Rangers do that you'd say are about league average. You know, that's their 52nd home run. So coming in, they were tied for 13th in baseball, team home runs, but runs per game, batting average, on base percentage, slugging, 24th or lower in the league. Strike to Higashioka, 2-1. Yerry De Los Santos heating up. Three and one on the Rangers DH. Three and two. Kyle, one hit in his last 10 at bats. Flied out to left field in the 3rd. LeMahieu goes down to his right knee, straightens, and gets Higashioka for out number 2 here in the 5th. Here's Josh Smith, cued an infield single, left side of the infield. That was in the 3rd inning. Also stole second, but he was stranded there. Swings through a breaking ball, 0-1.
It's got to be weird. Some of the guys traded, like Higashioka, who's moved on, did well in San Diego, but then comes back to play in Yankee Stadium. Because when I was traded from the Reds, I never stepped foot in Red Stadium again. Everything was always new. But to go back, you've got to be flooded with memories of, you know, when you used to play here, the guys you played with.
Strike 3. Smith down looking, 8th strikeout in 5 innings for Yarborough. We're halfway through. It's 1-1. Oh, yeah, it's a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel here at the stadium. DeGrom against Yarborough. Veteran left-hander doing the job against the Rangers, and Jacob DeGrom making it work against the Yankees. And in this matchup, great recognizes great. DeGrom against Judge, smiles knowingly, and Yarborough's just doing his job. 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Austin Wells leads off. And he swings through the curve, 0-1.
We haven't seen too many of those. He'll throw to left. He's been using that changeup, but he's basically fastball, slider, and then changeups against lefties. Now he's starting to throw some curveballs too.
He allows that fastball, but the funny part is he's throwing 98, and you know the word on DeGrom is he's not throwing as hard as he used to. Not that he can't, he's trying to keep it in control rather than going max out on every pitch, which might have led to all of those injuries. I mean, he threw sliders at such a speed that it's not normal, and the arm just didn't hold up. And he's got enough when he pitches just holding a little bit back to still get people out and overpower like that.
Yeah, really pounded the high part of the strike zone in this at bat, and he's been down all night. And that's the thing, great pitchers get a feeling what they need to do. Austin Wells, a very good low fastball hitter, down and in. So what do? You go up and away.
Here's LeMahieu. We get word, Paul, that Jonah Heim, the catcher for the Rangers, left the game with a compressed nerve in his right hand. That one is lined to right field. On the run is Garcia. Oh, what a play! He took an extra base hit away from LeMahieu.
Well, I tell you what, DJ LeMahieu is not having the best of luck since he's been back up. I mean, this ball just hammered the other way. Garcia, not really known as a great outfielder, but a great play right there. Sometimes when you can't do it at the plate, you know what? Somehow, some way, I'm going to make a difference. If I can steal one from somebody else. Michael, that missed. I don't know. It almost looks a little white to it. Does it mean it's close to snow?
I don't think it's snow, Paul. We'd have breaking news if it was snow.
It wasn't too long ago. It was May 5th. I saw a sad May 5th was the last time that a late snow in New York in 2020. How you like that? May 5th.
You just have that in your notes on the
somebody sent it to me, and I'm like, it could be worse. Could be snowing. I threw that. That was in the game notes today.
Nice.
You didn't read that page?
I missed that. I like to be surprised by the weather stuff. Two on your beat, D-Bus. Off of DeGrom, scrambles after it, and gets Bebas for the final out. So the Yankees go down in order against DeGrom, and we'll go to the 6th inning, 1-1. Now it's time to name that Yankee. That's what we have here today. 270, 138 hits, 187 home runs. Played for the Yankees from 92 to 95. So a teammate of yours, Paul, and again in 97. And with the Rangers before that. Stopped with the Red Sox, Blue Jays, Red Sox again. Long career.
This is 5 right in the middle, huh?
Yeah. Jonathan Loaisiga takes over for Yarbrough, pitched very well. 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Haggerty swings and misses.
And Michael, we have an update on Jonah Heim. He's got a compressed nerve in his right hand. So Paul called it as soon as that bat was broken. And Paul called it again. If that was caught, that would have been adding insult to injury. But
yeah, he might have 2 compressed nerves.
Right. I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to play Google MD. It could cause pain, numbness, tingling, and weakness. And we saw he couldn't throw the ball back to Jacob deGrom or down to second.
Hopefully he's okay for the long haul. So you went with Google rather than ChatGPT. Interesting choice.
I go with what I have. Not a doctor, but I play one on TV, apparently.
Very nice.
And you stayed at the Holiday Inn.
I've heard that before. That's not an original, you know that?
No, it's not.
Fly ball left center. Grisham comes on to make the play. You know who uses ChatGPT a lot?
Who's that?
Cone.
Coney?
Oh, my goodness. He loves it. He swears by it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Coney's sneaky good on the computer stuff.
Oh, he's really good. He loves all the analytics stuff. He's of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Langford. Well, the Yankee bullpen, even before Loaizaga came off the IL, had been very effective. But now you're adding a piece that gives them B-low out of the bullpen. They've got guys that have swing and miss stuff, but they don't come out throwing hard. They have low velocity on their fastballs in comparison to other bullpens, but very effective. Now Loaizaga gives them a completely different look.
That's a broken bat on a foul ball. It just shows you the movement he has in.
Loaizaga is almost like a relief pitcher version of DeGrom. When healthy, there are a few better than this guy, and you know, he's had surgeries, he's missed big swaths of time, and here he is back and being dominant again.
Yeah, when you watch this play, you remember the other night Dominguez had a little kind of conversation with Bellinger because he got too close to him and it caused Bellinger to be flat-footed. You saw Grisham run in front of them, and you saw Dominguez really loop around him to give him room, which makes that center fielder know that he has the ball without any interference. So, you know, that little conversation he had with Cody Bellinger the other day probably came into play there.
The 0-2. Another broken bat. Loaizaga off the mound, fields and fires a fastball to Rice.
Yeah, this was the other day at Saturday. Remember, he would not get out of the way, and Cody Bellinger got caught flat-footed, and then they had a little conversation afterwards. And as a center fielder, you know, and as a veteran player, hey, you know what? If I call it, kind of get out of the way, and if you saw that play today, as soon as Grisham called that ball, Dominguez looped way behind him, which makes it much easier to make the play.
Pitts to Young is inside, 1-0. Sixth inning, 1-1. Yankees and the Rangers. Popped up. Let's see if it stays in play for Rice. He's near the stands. And he runs out of room. The wind is going to play a role in this game at this point because it is whipping strong. And it's going to affect high fly balls. It is. It's going to take fly balls in that might be out. It might take balls foul that might be in the field of play. Right now, you could see it's going to be a factor. Young just got out of the way.
Well, that two-seam fastball, when it starts running, it just won't stop. And to a right-handed hitter, it just continues to come up after you. Very lucky that didn't catch his jersey.
Ground ball and past the diving Bebas into left field. A base hit for Josh Young.
We talked about Young being one of the hotter hitters, and this is just a good two-seam fastball hit hard. That's what you want, is a ground ball. But this one found a hole.
Now to bring up Adolis Garcia. He's glad to see Yarbrough out. Struck out looking twice against him. But there's no picnic against Loizaga. 1-0. A steady mist falling here at Yankee Stadium. Rangers have 4 hits, Yankees just 2. Fouled away and out of play. You ever play a game with your face covered like that?
No, it bothered me. You know, obviously I wore turtlenecks and wool sleeves and stuff like that, but as far as the rest of the stuff, usually when you're moving around and running, you have a little adrenaline, you're okay when you're out on the field. It's the long innings, you know, if the pitcher starts to go into long counts and you're just standing in the outfield, those are the ones that get a little chilly.
Tim Hill heating up. Three and 2, so that's going to release Young at first. 3-2, 2 outs. Marcus Simeon's on deck.
Look at the gap in left center field because you have Grisham.
Popped up on the right side. Rice, and the wind took that into the seats.
Yeah, you can see that ball off the bat was probably going to be played in foul territory. That ends up about 20 rows back. The wind really whipping and taking it. But back to my point, you got Grisham over in right center, and you've got Dominguez playing pretty much straight up. So dangerous spot out there in left center right now.
Young will go, but time is called by Garcia. Oh, that thing was moving.
Doesn't even know which way to go. Look, that little tail doesn't know where he's going.
Fouled away.
You know, he's beating Garcia on these fastballs, but Garcia is able to put the bat on the ball, continue to foul him off.
Continuing to battle, making Loizaga work. Top of the 6th inning, 1-1 game. Second game of this 3-game set. Yankees won last night, 5-2. There's a 9th pitch coming. Works a walk a little bit high. So runners on first and second and 2 outs.
I think Loizaga wanted that pitch. I mean, obviously he's down in the strike zone with that sinker, but this ball looked like it hit the box. Another 2-seam fastball just up in the strike zone. But because of the previous pitches, I think that that ball's clearly a strike, but you saw so many down in the strike zone. And then he didn't get the strike 3 up in the strike zone.
Matt Blake and the translator Marlon Abreu out to talk with Loizaga. Simeon was 0 for 2 against Yarborough. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Young's at second. Garcia is at first.
You know, you had 2 outs in the 9th inning last night when you read that.
That's our producer being a gambler.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't get those 2 runs, you would have been able to disseminate.
Whatever that means. I would have disseminated all the way home.
Pitch inside, trying to tie up Simeon.
You know, speaking on my way home last, I just was thinking about the game, and I started laughing. I'm like, you know what? Michael Kay said that I had the same amount of points in a basketball game that I had on the SAT. That was pretty funny. A day later, that still caught me as pretty funny.
See, there's still a part of me, because I remember the Paul O'Neill, the player, that when a joke like that comes to my mind, I think about not saying it because I think you're going to punch me in the face.
Yeah, I'm really offended, man.
Ooh! Couldn't get out of the way, and that loads the bases. Wow. Scary.
Yeah, that two-seamer is just running in hard against righties. I don't know if he had a guard on it that caught it, but it still hurt. Yeah, it looks like it caught the elbow guard.
Well, with Barnhart due up and Bochy locked into Barnhart as the last catcher, they're going to call on Tim Hill. So he gets the first 2 outs and a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Hill comes on to face Barnhart with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 1-1 game. The 2025 TNF schedule is out now, and the season returns on September 11th with the Commanders at the Packers. Visit Amazon.com/TNF to see the full schedule. All right, so Tim Hill is on to face Tucker Barnhart. We mentioned that a couple times in his career he did switch hit, but he's exclusively a lefty, and against left-handed pitching, Barnhart in his career is 176. Struck out looking in the 5th inning against the lefty Yarborough. Bases loaded with Rangers. Hill deals a strike. Quickly 0-2.
Wow, he has really opened the plate up here. First ball down and away, that ball up and in. So basically the whole plate is open. Any way he wants to go after him.
Tell you, one of the things you notice about Hill, Paul, fearless on the mound.
Yeah.
He just pounds the strike zone, knows what he's doing out there, and just dares somebody to hit him. And he gets a tapper back to the mound. Tough angle, but he makes the play to get Barnhart to get out of a jam. No runs, a hit, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th of a 1-1 game. All right, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. We had the coverage cam on Jacob deGrom.
Well, if you've got him, he's not going to give up a lot, that's for sure. Good fastball, great changeup to the lefties, and a good slider. You know what we said, he's one of the truly elite pitchers in the game, and you've seen it tonight.
5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Now, he has been the victim of lack of support almost, it seems, throughout his career, where the Mets didn't score a lot for him. He hasn't pitched much for the Rangers because he's been hurt. But did offenses kind of fall into a lull when there was a great pitcher on the mound, Paul?
Yeah, it's really weird you say that because it just seems like some guys just pitch their best and they don't get run support. And then there's somebody that, give up 4 runs in the first and win 10-4. It's just, I don't think that you relax. I think that you know, when Roger Clemens is on the mound and Andy Pettit and David Cohn, that if you get them some runs, you're going to win. But I don't think you go into the game saying, hey, you know what? We really don't have to do much offensively tonight.
Because if you look at the career of one of the greatest pitchers of all time, Tom Seaver, he never got a lot of run support. He just didn't. I don't know if it lulls an offense into a false sense of security that they don't have to do that much. But you say that that's not the case because maybe you put pressure on yourself. Hey, we get 3-4 runs here. It's a win.
Yeah. I know one thing, when your ace and your best pitchers are on the mound, those are the nights that you really dig in, because you know how important it is to win, because you don't know, what's in between, before their next start.
A foul ball and blows into the field of play, and Young puts it away to retire Grisham. Right now, sitting here watching this game with the weather and the wind, it doesn't look like it's pleasant to play baseball at this point.
No, I mean, obviously it's not the ideal situations, but once you get out there and you start playing, and then now you're in the bottom of the sixth of a 1-1 game. I mean, your emotions, your adrenaline, how important every defensive play is, every at-bat is. So, I would think, and I always thought this, that the players are warmer than we are and warmer than the people sitting in the stands.
Well, that was his fastest pitch of the night, 99 miles an hour. And that was his 80th pitch. He's ready to go. Rice is trying to slow him down by stepping out. I would think that's got to be a little intimidating for a batter. This guy's, great, and he's on the mound ready to go.
Hated it. I hated, pitchers that looked confident, that stared at you right down the middle of the plate, ready to go. You almost felt like they felt like they have you, and it can be an intimidating thing.
1-2. And Rice goes down on strikes.
Coming into this game, I knew he threw 99. I knew he had a great slider. I did not realize how good his changeup was, and it's all been against the lefties. That's how he gets something to go away from them, and I don't know that a lefty batter has even fouled one off tonight.
Here's Judge. Great at bat between these two in the fourth inning. Well, check that, the third inning, and Judge hit one sky high, caught by Simeon in shallow right field. Worked the count to 3-2. He walked in the first. And Judge gave DeGrom that look as, I had that. I just missed it. And DeGrom gave a look like, I know. Grounded sharply, grabbed by Smith, and Judge retired. So 15 in a row retired by DeGrom. Well, Jake Berger's going to lead off the seventh, and he hit a home run in the fifth. Let's take a look at the Spectrum exit velocity on that home run. Got through the wind, got into the seats. 110.4 miles per hour on that home run by Jake Berger.
It's funny though, Michael, that last ground ball that Aaron Judge hit, 112, just didn't quite elevate it, right?
So it'll be the bottom third of the Rangers order against Tim Hill, who came in to get Barnhart and strand the bases loaded in the sixth. That one is drilled out to right field. On the run, Bellinger, and that's going to make the seats. Just like that, the Rangers lead 2-1. Second home run for Berger.
Well, Berger waking up tonight. He jacked one to left and now one to right. And this is what you don't see much. Obviously, his ground ball rate almost 75%. And that ball's just up in the zone enough where he can elevate it.
Higashioka takes a strike from Hill. Nice catch by a fan.
Wow.
Youngster brought his glove and it paid off. LeMahieu gets Higashioka. Jack Leiter appreciated Jake Berger's home run. His team needs offense, so those 2 home runs huge for the Rangers. And it's Berger's 6th career multi-home run game. Speaking of Jack, Al Leiter dropped by before the game. Said hello.
Always
good to see him.
High energy. When the booth just woke up when he walked in.
That's Al. Ian Hamilton pitched in the 9th inning yesterday. He's warming up. One and 2 on Josh Smith. Smith reached on an infield single, stole a base in the 3rd, struck out looking in the 5th. Smith battling the left-hander Hill. Rangers have 2 righties on the bench, Kevin Pillar and Ezekiel Duran. And 1 left-hander remains, Jock Peterson. Just got a piece to stay alive. Swing and a miss. And Hill wins that battle. 2 down. And Boone going to take the ball from Hill and go to Hamilton after this strikeout. So Hamilton against Haggerty. When we get back, Rangers lead the Yankees 2-1 here in the 7th. NASCAR is on Prime. Stream 5 exclusive Cup Series races, kicking off with one of the crown jewels of racing, the legendary Coca-Cola 600. Coverage begins Sunday at 5. It's only on Prime. Well, Hamilton will come on to face Haggerty. He allowed his first 2 extra base hits of the season last night, giving up 2 runs in that 9th inning, forcing the Yankees to go to Luke Weaver to get 1 out.
Mike, I'll just remind you, as you hold your hand warmer over there, swimming pool's open this weekend, you know?
Yeah. Get the ice skates out.
Just don't forget.
Drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. 3-1 Rangers into the
Well, some home runs are not affected by the wind. Haggerty just hit one. It's his first home run of the season, and it was a bomb. Supposed to be a two-seamer, but you see that two-seamer starts to leak back out over the plate right to where Haggerty can handle it, and there was no doubt about that one. Still bothers me, Michael, when I see that Parts Authority out there. You let me say Port Authority for like 20 years. You didn't correct me for like 20 years.
I don't correct my teammates.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Hey.
1-1.
I was feeling so New York, and you know, talking about the Port Authority and all, knew all of everything. Finally, I took a second look, and I'm like, wow. That didn't quite fit out there.
It's Parks, not Port. There's a strike to Langford. He didn't count 1 and 2. Langford calls time. No one warming at this point for the Rangers, so DeGrom's going to come out and pitch the bottom of the 7th. And he has a 2-run lead. Rangers up 3-1. This should be an adventure with the wind. Moving away, and it falls foul. LeMahieu had a beat on it, and the wind just kept taking it away.
Yeah, you knew Bellinger had no chance because the ball's not carrying it. It's going dead sideways. And DJ LeMahieu, you just can't outrun the ball in the wind. Thank goodness for him. It just landed foul.
Or foul.
They're going to challenge that was a foul ball.
You would think that Bruce Bochy has a good angle from here. I don't know if you're going to see any white anything. I really can't tell.
You know, the way the challenge system works now, if it's close, you take the challenge in the 7th inning, because after that, you can ask the umpires to take a look, even if you don't have a challenge.
Right.
I don't think they're overturning it.
I don't know. I mean, from these angles, you can't tell either way. You know, the best view, obviously, is from the first base umpire. It was very
He's right there.
Right.
And that's Lance Barrett. Barrett's right there, watching it. I'll tell you this, Paul, if it's called a fair ball, and Boone challenges it, same thing. It's not going to be overturned. I don't think there's enough there.
I think they're scrambling in Chelsea right now. They're trying to get a better angle. Then again, ask a bird or something flying over the stadium. Can't tell because you know, but that in the old days we had chalk lines, you could see it, but that's painted on the grass.
After review, the call stands. It is a foul ball, and the count is 1 and 2.
See, we called that, right? Yeah. You're not going to overturn that, but you might as well use it, right?
Might as well use it. Like you don't want to end a game with a timeout.
That's right.
So 2-2 on Langford. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Rangers lead 3-1 over the Yanks.
Well, you look where DJ LeMahieu was playing and where that ball ended up. I mean, that's why that was a long run.
That one is rocketed to left field. It's a base hit. Dominguez plays and fires into Volpe, so a single for Langford.
Another two-seam fastball that just kind of ends up over the middle of the plate, right to the barrel, lined in the left field.
So here's Josh Young. One and 0. Three 7-0 for Texas. Just 2 hits for the Yankees and 1 run. One. One and 2 on Young. Just missed the outside corner. 2-2. Strike 3, Young down looking. But a couple of home runs here in the 7th inning. Broke a 1-1 tie. It's 3-1 Rangers at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, but we'll stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise and remove your caps and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Air Force Staff Sergeant Larry Ropelt from Maspeth, New York, who served in the Vietnam War. The Yankees say, thank you, Larry, for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
Now it's time for the 7th inning recap brought to you by Inspire. 3 runs on 7 hits for Texas. They have 3 home runs for the 3 runs. Yankees 1-2-0. DeGrom has been outstanding. Just a walk and 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Berger with 2 home runs. Ryan Yarbrough pitched very well for the Yanks. And Anthony Volpe tripled and scored the Yankees' only run. DeGrom still in there. Last 4 starts, 4-0, trying to make it 5-0 in 5 starts. Bellinger leads off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 86 pitches for DeGrom. pitch inside, 1-0.
Yeah, when you really break down what DeGrom has done, he had 24 pitches in the first inning, 56 through 3 innings, and then he went 9 up and 9 down and only used 30 pitches. That's why he's still in there now.
Well, since the triple Volpe, 15 in a row retired. Bellinger has one of the 2 Yankee hits, his single in the first and then the triple by Volpe. That's it. Dominguez on deck. Bellinger, Dominguez, and Volpe here in the 7th inning against DeGrom. Deep to right field. Garcia back. Oh, Garcia! Home run Bellinger. The Yankees pull to within 1.
And how he's continually starting to really improve his year offensively these last couple of weeks. Another great swing right there. You saw DeGrom shake off a couple pitches, and he went right back to the fastball. Bellinger ready for it. Bomb to right field.
He has been red hot. Here's Dominguez, 3-2 Rangers, and a strike. Out of the way. When we talk about the wind, Paul, some of these home runs can't be affected by the wind.
Yeah, that ball right there, just a fastball right there. You see Cody Bellinger after contact just kind of close his eyes. And I was talking the other night, when you hit one like that, as soon as it hits the bat, you know where it's headed. You don't have to watch it. Just everything's in sync.
Grounded, third baseman Young. The throw gets Dominguez.
Again, earlier in the year, you would see him, his body beating the bat head. Now the body's staying back and the bat head's getting out in front. And he is really hitting the ball all over the place. You saw earlier in the game where he just kind of slapped one to left field. Well, that pitch right there, he got in the count looking for a fastball. A little bigger swing, a little bigger hit.
Pitch to Volpe. 1-0. Hobie Milner, one of the 3 lefties in the Rangers bullpen. He's warming. High fly ball, right field. Garcia back on the track. He has room and makes the play.
You saw a visiting pitcher, DeGrom, watch that go all the way to the wall and just kind of holding his breath. You never know in Yankee Stadium, but tonight, Michael, you said some of these balls have been crushed, but every once in a while that ball right there will just continue to carry, but not tonight.
Austin Wells takes outside from DeGrom. So DeGrom at 98 pitches. Wells has had trouble tonight against DeGrom with 2 strikeouts. De Los Santos and Leiter. Now 2-2. And the pitch. The foul ball. Got off to a slow start, but boy, he has picked it up. This is what the Yankees envisioned when they got him in the trade from the Cubs. He's just been on fire. Swing and a miss. Wells down on strikes for the third time tonight. Well, sometimes the catcher knows best. DeGrom didn't like the call. He shook it off. Shook it off again. He decided on that pitch. Bad call. Good swing. And the Yankees trail by 1 as we go to the 8th. Well, it's time to name that Yankee. Here are the clues. Paul, a teammate of yours.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, too.
Mike Stanley.
Yeah, remember how excited the fans were when he came back to New York? He was well liked in the clubhouse. He could hit.
You know what else I remember? He was so beloved. People forget this. That they hated Joe Girardi when he came here because they didn't bring back Mike Stanley. But then Joe Girardi won him over. But Mike Stanley was part of that Yankee team that kind of turned the corner and became a competitive team and made the playoffs. Yerry De Los Santos takes over to start the 8th. There's a strike. Most home run amongst catchers for the Yankees. Elston Howard the most, and Gary Sanchez. Well, it started. Well, that I got to explain that graphic. 1 away. All right, so Elston Howard is 4th on the list because obviously Yogi leaves. Then Gary Sanchez, Thurman Munson, Mike Stanley, and Matt Notes.
Matt Notes, here's a name from the past.
One away.
So,
and a strike to Simeon.
Before we got to number 4 on that list, Michael, we started with Yogi, Posada, and Bill Dickey.
Mm-hmm. Line to right field on the run. Bellinger losing up the plate on a hop. A base hit for Simeon. Well, DeGrom's game face is off, so that'll do it for him. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. So we'll see Garcia instead of Milner. They sat Milner down. And there's a strike to Barnhart. One and one. Keeping Simeon close. Yarborough started, went 5, then Loaizaga, Hill, Hamilton, and now De Los Santos. Upstairs. Rangers have 8 hits. Yankees have 3. Rangers lead 3-2. We're at the top of the 8th. And down goes Barnhart. Out number 2.
Well, right after him with a two-seamer, kind of tails away, but gets a swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. Actually, the second out of the inning. You get Berger, who's hit 2 home runs. Be careful here.
Two Berger home runs in 3 at-bats. Home run. De Los Santos has a live arm. Grounded foul outside of first.
Got to keep an eye on Simeon here. I know you want Berger to swing the bat, but you know, in the past, he's had 25 stolen bases a couple years, and this year only 2. But you know, only 2 because he hadn't been on base that much. He's only hit 175 coming into the game.
Oh, the entire Yankee defense thought that was strike 3. So did the crowd. But Marquez, who decides, said no. Let's see. Like a missed eyelash. Runner goes. Grounded and through for a base hit. Simeon will go to third as Dominguez flips the ball in. That was squeezed between Bibas and Volpe. So first and third with 2 men out.
Again, Michael, you said it. I mean, it's too hopper, but it to split that defense perfectly. A smart play by Dominguez, not chucking to the third. No chance. Going to keep Berger at first base.
Here comes Matt Blake. Well, they're sending up Jock Peterson to pinch hit for Higashioka. Matt is out there with the interpreter, Marlon Abreu. So the teams obviously think that lip readers only can read English because Marlon's not covering his mouth.
I noticed that. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I think you overthink things, Michael.
I mean, the highly advanced team should have Spanish language lip readers, and then, you know, you might have something there.
Right.
So Peterson, signed as a free agent during the offseason, really has struggled, as you see from those numbers. And he is pinch hitting for Higashioka.
Well, that was a big batter in the game. Obviously, with the Bellinger home run, you're right back in this at 3-2. You've got to try to get out of this inning, get the bats back in your offense hand.
We're in the 8th. Simeon at third, Berger's at first. 2-0 on the pinch hitter. Good changeup, way out in front. 2-1, so he goes changeup on 2-0. Runner goes. There'll be no throw. They will let Berger take second.
Well, it's a pretty smart play. I mean, you just got to trust your pitcher to get out of this. And, in an errant throw, you're going to Simeon's going to walk home. And right, you're only 1 run down. Berger, not a speedster, but knowing that you're probably not going to throw through and take a chance.
So Peterson walks as the pinch hitter to load the bases for Josh Smith.
It's interesting, nobody up in the Yankee bullpen here. Giva Santos in a mess here with 2 outs, bases loaded.
And that one is hit sharply to LeMahieu. He fields on the short hop, and they get Smith. And De Los Santos breathes a sigh of relief. He works into and out of trouble as the Rangers leave the bases loaded. Well, fans, the Gotham Sports app is your new home for streaming live Yankees games on Yes, free with your eligible TV plan, or visit GothamSports.tv to subscribe today and get streaming. Now we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees down by 1. And Robert Garcia, the new pitcher for the Rangers, as Jacob deGrom gives them 7 innings of 3-hit, 2-run baseball. LeMahieu leads off against Garcia, who starts him off with the strike.
Well, last time up, LeMahieu rocketed one to right field. Garcia, all-out dive, took it away from him. He's had some good at-bats since he's been back, and you just hope they continue and he can stay healthy.
Garcia, 28 years old, 3rd big league season. Got him in a trade with Washington for Nathaniel Lowe. 4-seamer, slider, changeup. Throws them all equally. And there's strike 3.
Kind of a crossfire, and he's just hitting the inside corner. DJ LeMahieu just hoping that it's in off the plate, right on the corner.
So Paul Goldschmidt is going to pinch hit for Bibas. Interesting stat. Goldschmidt all of last year had a WAR, wins above replacement of 1.3. He's got a 1.3 WAR now, here with another week to go in May. So he's matched last year's production. And he was set out to proving that, last year was the aberration. It wasn't because he was 36, he's 37 now. He just had a bad year, but he had a good 2 final months that convinced him that he found something. Yankees down 3-2. Let's see if they green light him on 3-0. They do. Fouls it away. And there's ball 4, so a pinch hit walk for Goldschmidt.
Well, by that walk, all of a sudden you're 1 swing away from taking the lead, and that's what the Yankees are looking for here. Lefty on lefty. Grisham. Ben Rice coming up next. We got a couple lefties before you get to Aaron Judge.
So you stack the lefties up top against the righty DeGrom, and now you're going to pay the price just a bit. The right-handed hitters on the Yankee bench, Peraza, who's going to have to come in and play third, or Reyes, who could play third. Those are the righties that are left, and the lefty, J.C. Escara. One and one. Garcia allowed his first homer of the year on Sunday. Isaac Paredes had a game winner against him. 1-1 count on Grisham. 2-1. The 2-1. 3-1 on Grisham.
Really zero in on the location here. Now if you're Grisham at 3-1, you take one shot. Look for something inner half, something that you can put out of the ballpark.
He tried, fouled it off 3-2. Saw Luke Jackson warming for the Rangers. Luke Weaver getting ready for the Yanks. And he walked it. Get it back for Grisham. Now the Yankees move the tying running to scoring position. And here comes Mike Maddox, the pitching coach.
All right, Michael, 50-50. Is he going to rub his shoulder? I think so.
Oh, that's great odds. I'll take those. Yeah, that's all part of the coaching.
I think it's a day game, too. With the
Let's see.
1, 2. Come on.
There you go. It's like the sun rising in the morning. Oh, no, the second. It's not just a, it's a little rub too.
Yeah, you get the back rub too. Just keep it loose.
Zimmer never did that with you, right?
If he would have done that to me, would have hooked me up with that concrete guy in Cincinnati.
There's Ben Rice. Rice 0 for 3 against DeGrom. And a strike. Rice's OPS against left-handed pitching, 771. And for Major League Baseball, lefty against lefty OPS is 666. High fly ball. Right center. Catch is made by Haggerty. And the runners stay put. And that's going to bring up Judge. Will he face the lefty, or will they bring in Luke Jackson? Yeah, they're going to bring in Luke Jackson. So Bruce Bochy makes his way out to the mound. And it's going to be Jackson against Judge. With 2 outs here in the 8th inning. The tying run at second. The go-ahead run is at first. Judge goes back. He'll get a scouting report. Bochy takes the ball. Stay right where you are, Jackson, Judge, when we come back. All right, Luke Jackson comes on. 33-year-old right-hander. 10th big league season. 8 for 9 in save chances this year, but he did have a couple of blow-up games that has inflated his ERA to 5.14. Has not allowed an earned run in 15 of 18 games. Judge against Jackson, 2 for 2 in his career, 2 singles. 1-0. If you're wondering why they're not pinch running for Goldschmidt at second, they want to keep Goldschmidt in case he gets to the bat in the 9th inning. So Ben Rice will be the one who will be replaced by Peraza, kind of a double switch, where Goldschmidt will stay into play first, and then Peraza will play third. One and one.
That's an unexpected four-seam fastball right down the middle to Aaron Judge.
Strike two, 1-2.
Yeah, this ball looked low. Again, this is the pitch that you always saw called against Aaron Judge. I mean, he's not your typical 6'2" guy.
The 1-2. That's a base hit to left field. Goldschmidt rounds third. They're waving him home. The throw from Langford is cut off. Goldschmidt scores. Tagged out is Grisham. It's an RBI single by Judge, and the Yankees have tied the game at 3.
Well, this is why you do that. You keep the runners in motion because there could possibly be a play at the plate, but a huge hit by Aaron Judge going to the top of the 9th.
Judge with the big RBI single ties the game at 3.
Again, the ball was hit so hard. You're going to have a play at the plate, so as a runner, you're going to try to make them cut the ball, which you did. So you score the run, tie the game, because you never know. This looked like it was going to be a play at the plate. Goldschmidt was really just touching third base when that ball came up with it in left field.
They must not have that much respect for Langford's arm, because he was not even at third, and the ball was hit so hard, and it was in the glove of Langford, and still Luis Rojas waved him home. Now, a little curious here, Paul. They tied the game, and they keep De Los Santos in.
I was a little surprised that he got that last out with bases loaded, with nobody up in the bullpen, and then again, Weaver obviously would close the game, but yeah, to send him right back out after tying the game, we'll see.
And at home, after 8 innings, is not going to be a safe situation, so Weaver was up anyway, but they're staying with De Los Santos.
And, an inning before, he had Leiter up in the bullpen, too.
The line drive, base hit to left field by Haggerty. Unless he's trying to steal out so he doesn't have to use Weaver for all 3 outs. But now you've got yourself with the winning run or the go-ahead run at first base. So here's Langford. And you saw the signal from Boone, to talk. And what Wells did was he went behind the plate, and then when it was time to throw a pitch, he said, okay, now I'm going to go out and talk. So you're really giving Weaver a lot of time to warm up. Now here's the bullpen budget. The numbers you see are the amount of pitches they threw. So Luke Weaver threw 2 yesterday, and he threw 2 on Friday. So he's not been overused at all. It's just surprising they didn't have him start this inning. Devin Williams, I'm sure they'd like to stay away after 24 yesterday. Leiter threw 13, but he has only pitched once in 3 days, and we've already seen Hamilton. So now it is going to be Weaver, but Weaver has to come in with a guy on base rather than a clean inning. So De Los Santos flirted with disaster in the 8th inning, ended up leaving the bases loaded. He departs, now leaving a runner at first. Luke Weaver coming on. Well, here's a look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Dietz and Watson. One more game tomorrow against the Rangers, 12:35 start. Then the Yankees will head for their second West Coast swing of the month, 3 in Colorado, 3 in Anaheim, then a day off, and then 3 in LA against the Dodgers. A little rematch, regular season rematch of last year's World Series. So Luke Weaver takes over. Sam Haggerty at first base with nobody out. He's thrown 4 pitches in the last 6 days, Weaver has.
Got 2 saves out of those 4 pitches.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yep. 10 hits for the Rangers, but just 3 runs. Yankees have 4 hits and 3 runs. We're in the 9th inning. Center field. Grisham makes the play. Paul, we are high up behind home plate. That ball knuckled 3 ways as it went out to center field.
Yeah, you even saw Grisham he's even laughing about it right now. I mean, the wind is doing weird things with the baseball right now. You know, sometimes you can hit a ball so square that it kind of knuckles, but he was saying that ball, you know, it kind of took off on him, and which is strange the way the ball has been going in, you know, towards first base today.
By the way, Goldschmidt did stay in to play first base. And Peraza is now batting second, and he's playing third. A strike to Young.
All of a sudden, Marquez behind home plate. A lot of the questionable calls are all going the pitcher's way.
Just missed. And it did miss. Fly ball center field. Grisham. Out number 2.
Luke Weaver, 2 balls hit, but 2 quick outs, and that's what you want. You know, you're using him again. I don't know that you would use him in the bottom of the 9th if you need him. The top of the 9th, or top of the 10th, I'm sorry.
One 1-0 to Adolis Garcia. 0 for 3 with a walk. Foul back, 1-1.
Well, he got his money's worth there. Garcia not trying to hit a single to right, and a back legging him, and actually kind of slipped out of it.
Haggerty remains at first, held there by Goldschmidt.
Haggerty getting a large lead. Only 1 stolen base on the year.
And Weaver has a very quick right-hander's move. There he goes. The throw to second. Not in time. Guess the tag was a little high by LeMahieu.
You know, you've seen this a lot lately with Juan Soto here. Runners halfway there. I think they're going to challenge this. Looks like he's out.
New York is challenging a safe call at second base.
I think he might be out.
Yeah, it looks like he's out.
Yeah. Ooh, boy, I don't know.
You really got to slow this one down because you don't know exactly when DJ touched him. Looked like right there, and it didn't look like the foot was quite to the bag at that point.
Well, let's put it this way. If this is overturned, it's a gutsy overturn.
Yeah.
I think he tagged him before the spike hit the bag?
I think Aaron Boone knows if it's close enough that it's very hard to overturn it. And you screaming, how do you miss that call? Because if he's called out, Michael, there's no way they would overturn it.
Right. Now, he can't argue with the people that are watching the replay, but he's just saying if you had called him out there, that would not have been overturned. But now there's a chance it still might not be overturned because it's so close. But I mean, if I was talking to Aaron, I go, well, you missed that call because it's a really tough call. It's really close. They're going to take a long look at this one.
Yeah, man, it looks like the foot. He's tagged before the foot actually hits second base. But
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out. And New York will retain the challenge.
Stop! Took off. Stop! Weaver fires to LeMahieu, and that is the end of the inning.
yeah,
Well, the Yankees have a chance to win. Bottom of the ninth inning, the game is tied at 3. And here's who's coming up. The red-hot Cody Bellinger will start it off. Then the youngster, Jason Dominguez and Anthony Volpe. Can they score? Can they walk it off? Stay tuned on Prime. Bellinger will start off at bottom of the ninth. And the pitch by Jackson is low, 1-0. Yankees looking to walk it off. Last one, 2022. Giancarlo Stanton hit one out. There's a ground ball smothered by Berger. High toss, and they get Bellinger for the first out.
Berger knocks it down and then again kind of flips it high. Holds on to a long. Good job to come down with that and hit the bag by Luke Jackson.
So here is Dominguez. 1-0. Dominguez 0 for 3 tonight.
Marquez has had a little bit too much from the Yankee dugout, and there was a lot of screaming going on that hit him, Dominguez didn't even question it. In between innings, Aaron Boone is yelling, how can you miss that call? Marquez, hey, you got it on the replay enough. But to our point, Michael, if that is so, it's still important what it's called.
Drill deep to right field. There it goes. Ball game. A walk-off home run for Jason Dominguez. And the Yankees win 4-3.
Sentence, Michael, stop and let you call the game winner.
First walk-off home run for the Yankees since 2022. You saw the graphic. That was by Stanton, so it's been a while. And this time, the Martian does it.
Oh, just a hanging breaking ball and a no-doubter. An exciting win for the Yankees, man. Beautiful starting pitching from both sides. And this is the way it ends. One swing of the bat from the Martian.
Well, he put this one into orbit. His 6th home run of the year. Volpe knew it immediately. The crowd loves it. And the Yankees take another series, the first 2 games of this 3-game set against the Rangers. That ends a 974-day drought without a walk-off home run. The 4th longest drought in Yankees history. One swing, it was over.
I know, sitting on the bench, you're just hoping for something. A hanging breaking ball is all it took. Or Goldschmidt knew it. Aaron Judge with the big hit to tie it up. And then that little rolling curveball ends up in the second deck. Smiles for everybody, Michael.
Young and a Yankee and a game winner. Nice combination. And the celebration on. Sweet game for the Yankees. They survived DeGrom. And Dominguez sends him home happy, and Dominguez is with our very own Chris Sheeran on the field. Chris?
Jason, what's this moment like for you, this walk-off home run?
Oh, man, it's awesome. I mean, I've been dreaming with a moment like this like a long time. This is my first walk-off.
To do it at home, in front of these fans, what does it mean? In front of these fans, what does it mean to you, Jason?
I mean, it's awesome. Yankees fans are the best in the world, and doing in front of them is awesome. It's just awesome.
And to battle Jason DeGrom all game long, and to come back and win this game, what does it mean for this team?
I mean, he makes good pitches, he pitches well, but this team, we grind the man. Like every at-bat, we make him worry. At the end, he play off.
Jason, get in and get warm. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Jason Dominguez, Michael, back to you.
Thank you, guys. And Paul, that cold water must not feel good tonight.
Yeah, cold plunge on a cold night. But you know what? You're so fired up from hitting one in a game winner.
Well, Paul, it's time for the player of the game presented by Snickers. I wonder who.
You know what? Why even go through this? Let's just watch it. Wow. See ya.
Nice win for the Yankees. So they win yesterday. They win this one 4-3 today.
In front of these fans, what does it mean?
Tomorrow, a nice cold bath on a nice cold night. But the Yankees feel a lot warmer than the Rangers do after taking this one home after trailing 3-1 against Jacob DeGrom. But the Yankees came back against DeGrom and then the Rangers bullpen. Yes, a child shall lead them to victory. Jason Dominguez with the walk-off home run. And then the celebratory bath. A lot of smiles for the Yankees with this one. And a hug from the Yankee manager, who's just angry a couple of minutes ago, but not right now. 4-5-0 for the Yanks, 3-10-0 for the Rangers. Time of the game, 2:56. Weaver the win, Jackson the loss. Berger had a great game. Dominguez with the home run that won it. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer is Jared Ames Bosnack. Hey, don't forget to join us again on Wednesday, June 4th, as the Yankees host the Guardians in an ALCS rematch right here at Yankee Stadium. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Prime, with first pitch coming just after 7. For more coverage of tonight's game, tune into the S Network for the W.B. Mason postgame show. Again, the final score in the New York Yankees 4 and the Texas Rangers 3. For Paul O'Neill and Chris Sheeran, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, where once again the Yankees win 4-3 on that swing. Have a good night, everybody. So long.